Hello everybody, my name is Micah, and today in 2023, the year of Five Nights at Freddy's, we're making something I never thought I'd make twice. And that is Roxanne Wolf. Yes, I have made Roxanne Wolf before. It was actually as a commission, way before I knew selling fan art was copyright infringement. Also stick around till after the Glamour shots to see a side-by-side of old Roxy and new Roxy. So no, you can't buy fan art plushies from me now, but the point of me bringing this up was that I made Roxy before, and I thought I would never do it again. And why is that? Well, when Security Breach came out a while ago, I honestly did not like Roxy. She straight up annoyed me. She was so full of herself, I just couldn't stand it. Until that is, Ruin came out. That DLC changed everything. It showed Roxy in a wildly different light, and I immediately knew I had to make a Roxy plushie one day. And that day is today! So let's take a look at her design. Obviously, the colors are not going to be the same as the in-game ones, and that is for two reasons. For one, a lot of the in-game promotional things, like posters and standees and whatnot, depict Roxy as kind of more purple than gray, even though she is legitimately gray. Maybe with like a little hint of purple, but that's about it. And reason number two, I just didn't have time to search for a perfect color match to that weird grayed out purpley color. It was a very last minute decision to make this blush, and I didn't really have time to contemplate the color scheme for days like I usually do. But in my defense, she does look kind of good, and way more vibrant than the original Roxy color scheme. They are glam rock animatronics after all. Wouldn't you want a little, I don't know, glam in your glam rocks? I know I would. So Roxy will just be a little more vibrant in the end. Now it's time to head on over to the desk and get to work on this project. Okay, hey, hi, hello. We gotta go fast, because I am trying to squish this video in so quickly. Like, this plush should normally, on a normal schedule timeline, take like 4 or 5 days. I'm trying to do it in 3. I'm trying to get this video done for the weekend after Fnaf Help Wanted 2 comes out. When initially, I was supposed to have a whole other week to work on this project. If I seem kind of frazzled or like chaotic this video, that is why. Because no matter what I do, I will be running out of time. Speaking of time, let's not waste any more of it. I'm gonna show you the prototype real quick, which is right here. Okay, so this prototype might look a little funky, and I think you know why. This is actually King's prototype body. The only thing I tested about Roxy was the head, arm, and leg. This is actually the second head I tested. Other head looked a little something like this. I don't know if you can tell, but like, this one's better. This one's better. I also made some tweaks to the pattern. So it's not gonna look just like this, and Roxy has her own body shape. This was just the closest one I had, and I didn't need to test hers. So basically, Roxy will be this, but better. Also, she will have hair. Ignore King's weird deflated head here. Now, let's get to work. First, we gotta cut out that fabric, which is gonna take a while. She's got a lot of pieces. Alright, this is a lot of fabric. There's some green for the hair and claws, this purple for her main color, red for her clothing bits, purple for her leg warmers and arm thingies. What are those? I don't know, arm warmers? And her toe claws. And this massive hunk of fabric for the hair and snout and inside of ears and belly. I need to cut a lot of things out of this fabric, which is why I got so much of it. It's a lot. Now let's cut our pieces out. Ooh, I am starting to think this project's gonna take longer than I thought, as we are currently at 2 hours and 19 minutes in just to cut everything out. Not good. So we are going to quickly move on to start pinning things together, as much as I can with this many pins. Okay, with the help of the yellow pins I don't like very much, we actually got everything pinned. Well, almost everything. Right now we're doing all the pieces that have, well, I guess this color on them, which is almost everything. But that's good, because then I don't have to switch threads back and forth a million times. So this chunk of sewing is gonna give me all my pins back. And we can say bye-bye to the yellow ones, until I run out of pins again and then inevitably have to pull them out of the drawer. So let's get to work, starting with this piece. Whew, okay, that was a lot. Like, look at this, what the heck?
I mean, I know what the heck, but what the heck? I'm also super losing my light, so I gotta hurry up. We gotta cut off a lot of the extra seam allowance, and then we can start pinning things, like, together. Because before, we were just getting, like, nails on hands and hands on arms and whatnot. Now, it's time to actually put these things together.
Okay, I am losing my light and I've got joints that are hurting. So I'm only gonna do one more round of pinning and then I'm gonna have to call it quits for today. It feels like I got nothing done for the, like 4 hours I've been going, but it's all about those details. Today was a detail day. So before I lose all of my energy, let's go pin those things so that I can go get something to eat. Okay, I'm back and I'm ready to roll. I'm starting work early today because I've got a lot to do. I really cannot waste time with this project, which you already know from yesterday, so I'm gonna stop talking about it. We're just gonna talk about the plush. I essentially need to get the entirety of the skin done today. What I have to start with today is something that I really don't want to do. It's the face. I mean, what else was it gonna be? I never want to do the face because it's so stressful because it needs to be perfect and everything. No, it doesn't need to be like perfect, but you know what I mean. Okay, I've been procrastinating for way too long. We just need to get to work. I just don't want to.
Alright, let's get this face done. We're gonna have to pin some big black pieces here for the eyelashes, and some over here for the stripes. Then I'll use some templates to sew around them, and then cut off all the extra. I'm also still trying to figure out if I want to put, like, toe beans on these. Really, that can wait until basically the end, because the feet are the last thing I put on. But it'd be better to figure it out sooner than later. For now, let's just focus on the face. Oh, and then we will have to also focus on the stripes on the legs and stuff. That's important too. Okay, so I can't actually fit the stripes on here with the eyelash pieces, so I'm gonna have to do these first and then do the stripes. I'm also reconsidering what fabric I use for the stripes on the arms. I'm gonna have Standing Micah explain that to you real quick, and then we'll come back to the lashes.
I got you covered, Desk Micah. As I was saying, I was reconsidering what fabric I was going to use for the stripes on Roxy's leg warmers and whatnot. You see, I love plushies with a ton of different types of fabric on them. A variety of good textures are a sensory yes from me. So of course I wanted to use one of my favorite fabrics for details as much as possible on this plush. I actually wanted to get a bunch of this type of fabric for all of Roxy's clothes, but it was kind of sold out everywhere. I found a similar replacement fabric, but it couldn't get here on time, and shipping would have been ridiculously expensive. So for a while there, I thought this was gonna have to be an exclusively one fabric plush. Until I started the lashes. Because the lashes were this pure plush fabric I like to use, I thought I might as well make the face stripes that too. But once the face stripes were decided to be that fabric, I realized that I should probably have all the stripes be uniformly the one fabric. But because all these details were black, I was thinking maybe I should make all black pieces this fabric too. Like the belt, the collar, the wristbands. But all those other pieces required some applique, and this fabric does not look that good with applique on it. So I decided against it. But with all that decided on, I'm gonna send you on over to the desk with the lashes and face stripes done. I'll see you over there.
Okay, the face is done. Now we can start pinning together the head and sewing all this other stuff we've had pinned for a while.
Okay, same day, different shirt, and the sun is going down, which is infuriating because it's only 2 p.m. But the good news is I am feeling way more confident about being able to get this plushie done. And I also have a feeling that confidence is gonna go down the drain in about 2 seconds. That's when I gotta start putting all those stripes on the arms and legs. And I know that will take forever. My brain keeps telling me,
It's gonna take 2 seconds, it'll be fine.
but I know logically it's gonna take a while. So I'm gonna enjoy this confidence and bliss while I can, and then we will move on to those stripes. Now let's get back to work before we lose all our light.
Okay, we're gonna have to do things in kind of a funky order now. I just got the first part of the body pinned together, but what I just realized is that I can't put the arms on until I do the stripes on the arms. I was gonna do the stripes all at once, but it looks like I'm gonna have to do it in 2 batches. Because I need to be able to attach the stripes to the arms, then the arms to the body, so that I can close up one side of the body so that I can put the stripes on the bottom of the legs. All this so that I can have stripes that go across the seam. It's a bit much for something that simple, but like, it's what I decided to do, I guess. So I guess we gotta do those stripes on the arms first, then we'll come back around to the legs. Once we get past the arm bit, this is gonna be pretty quick. Well, besides the stripes on the legs, but we're gonna ignore that for now. So let's head on over and do those. Done. This took forever, which is why we're gonna use a little magic to duplicate it. Okay, we got 2 arms done. Now, it's time for my
super secret arm attachment technique!
There we go. Wait a minute. Did we just transition to the next step? I'm so tired. Our next step for today is gonna be sewing down those sides. That way we can put the black stripes on the legs. I'm also getting very nervous about this turning out well. Like, I just honestly don't know how it's gonna look. Fingers crossed it turns out well, but I just really don't know. I don't think the general body shape will be bad. I just feel like the vibes might end up being off? I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it'll just be something I have to get used to and I'll like after a little bit. You know, the whole let it sit and finish baking thing. For now, the only thing I can do is keep moving forward. So, let's do that. Okay, now that the sides are sewn, we can put the black fabric on top of this and then start sewing on those stripes. Alright, that's one almost done. Let's just use a little magic to get the second one done, because this is gonna take a bit. Alright, let's start putting her together. Okay, she's just about done. Now all we need to do is get those feet on her feet, I guess. No, wait. We just need to get the feet on the legs. So let's do that real quick. Nice. All done. I had way more trouble with these toes than I care to admit. And I am not sure the feet are even gonna turn out the way I want them to. But at this point, there's nothing else I can do about it. We just have to turn her right side too. Okay, her skin is done, and I am very, very nervous. This took so long to get to even just this point, and I don't know if it's gonna look good. Like, I am very not confident about these feet. Hopefully they turn out right, but they might just not. I don't know, part of me just wants to not stuff it. If I never stuff it, I'll never know that it looks bad. I don't know. Let's just get her stuffed and see. Okay, first things first, we need to stuff the head. In any project, it is the thing that is most likely to look off. So by stuffing that first, if I need to unstuff it to fix something, I don't have to unstuff the entire plush. So let's do that real quick. Alright, I think the head is okay. Like, I don't know how much I love it yet. We'll see. I guess for now, it's bean time. And, when you look in here, there's really not actually that many beans. So what I'm gonna have to do is mix beans with beads. So we'll do a little bit of this and a little bit of this. Let's get to it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to jump in here because things went sideways. I
could explain all the pattern intricacies and sewing issues I had, but as the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And in a project this long, doing this will save a lot of time. You should now fully understand why I had to extend this project another day to unstuff the plush, sort out the beans from the plastic pellets because I got more beans, and seam rip off Roxy's old feet and replace them with completely new ones. This would almost be fitting if I were making Monty, but I'm not, so we'll just have to move on, a little upset about the loss of that comedic opportunity. While I had her unstuffed, I also adjusted her snout. It may have been a teeny tiny adjustment, but I feel like it made all the difference. And I'm so much happier with how she looks now. And lastly, I put together her hair, because why not? I was really tempted to give this plushie to my brother for Christmas before this, which is kind of my way of scrapping a project when it's basically done. So, sorry kid, better luck next time. Too bad, so sad. Roxy's mine now. Okay, jokes aside, let's get back to the project. This is day, 5 now? Yikes, we really gotta wrap this up. Today we've gotta make Roxy's clothes and do all the hand sewing. Usually that'd be pretty simple, but past Micah had some pretty big dreams for this outfit, which might just make it take forever. As you already know, I did take a day to fix Roxy up, and so here she is. What you're seeing here is not a finalized outfit. I accidentally cut out double of what I needed for the pants and shirt, so I just pinned those onto Roxy just to see what it would look like. Now we have to make the actual outfit, which is gonna start with a lot of detail work. Not only is it a shirt and pants, I am also making her extra leg warmers. Now I know technically her legs already have the stripy bits on them, but I saw some art of Roxy with like actual leg warmers on and I was like, oh, that is so cute. I have to do that. Let's get over to the desk.
We gotta get some details done. That'll be all the spots on these black bits, and all the stripes on the purple bits. Oh, and of course, the little details on the shirt and pants. So let's get to pinning that stuff on.
It's not a new day, you're a new day. And I love you for that. Now, I may have done something a little bit heinous, and you might already be able to see it. I did some hand sewing off camera. I know. You want to see all the hand sewing? That's the most interesting part of the project. With everything else, you can't really see it coming together, but hand sewing you can. But this project is taking so long, and I really could not keep sitting here at the desk working on it. So I did a little bit of hand sewing on the couch, but I left everything that's actually really fun to see. So her eyes are still not on, the toes still aren't on. I didn't close up the back or anything. Just little things, you know? Also added a little bit of eyeshadow. I don't know if you can tell. I really think this elevates the plushie a couple notches. And yes, I did have to sew it on by hand, so it's just like a slight bit janky. With the eye below it and the eyebrow above it, I don't think it'll be that noticeable. I also did one other thing off camera just to see how it was gonna turn out, which was one of the leg warmers. And honestly, looking at the difference, I love it. Part of me is thinking, why did I even take the time to do the leg warmers on the plushie if I was just gonna make separate ones that look so much better? And then I remind myself that if I had not done this, I would not have been able to replace her feet. So I guess it evens out in the end. Don't worry, the toes are not gonna continue to look like this. We'll fix them in the hand sewing. Right now though, we need to get that outfit done. So let's get to work on that.
We're gonna have to do a lot of like itty bitty little sewing pieces. And that's not that interesting to see, so I'll do that little bit off camera. But I wanted to show you how this works. And to really show you, I'm actually gonna grab the hat from my Fiona and Cake project. And here it is. So if we take a look at the back, it actually closes up like this. So we have a flap here that comes out from the underside of the hat. And then on the other side of the underside, we have the other piece of Velcro. So this slots inside and under the other side of this, so that the closure ends up looking like the two pieces are just right next to each other, like this. See how nice and smooth that is? So much better than having this piece actually go all the way on top of this piece. That makes it super bulky. So this is what I'm doing on every single one of these pieces. Now, let me get those little bits sewn and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, the clothing is all turned right side too. The shirt was kind of a toughie, but we got there. Now, all we have to do is the hand sewing. Though maybe I shouldn't say it like that because it is a lot of hand sewing. So let's do a quick transition. Ah, there we go. Did we miss the wide shot? Because I kind of missed the wide shot. Look at all this space we got. Now, to save time and my mental health, we're only going to be doing a little bit of hand sewing on camera here. Because there is a lot that needs and needed to be hand sewn. See, I did do some stuff off camera already, but what we're going to do on camera are the eyes, nose, eyebrows, toe beans, and closing up the stuffing hole. Now, real quick, everything that you will not be seeing me hand sew today, but either did or does need to be done, will be shown in a list over here. It is a lot, which is why I cannot show all of it. And because working at the desk makes me feel like I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna be doing a lot of this stuff on the couch. So let's get to work. We're gonna start with the eyes, nose, and eyebrows. And I only have a teeny tiny bit of black thread left. Hopefully this will be enough. That took forever, but the eyes and eyebrows and nose are all on. Now let's go ahead and sew up the back. Don't worry everybody, she's not getting naked, she is a wolf. She's just wearing clothing for the aesthetic of it. There we go. Now let's get at these toe beans. Okay, the toes are done. Ah, she's looking so cute. Now let's get those claws on. There we go, look at those claws. Now I think it's time for some glamour shots. Before we hit that Showtime button, let's give a huge Freddy Fazbear thank you to my lovely patrons. Because the list is still pretty short and we are right before Christmas, I want to give a full patron shout out. This is the list of every single one of my patrons. And even though it's kind of short, these guys make these videos possible. And I don't say that in the way a lot of YouTubers say it, where it's just like, oh, fluffy, whatever. I mean, literally, if I lost every single one of my patrons tomorrow, I wouldn't be able to get new fabric, which means no new plushies, which means no new videos, which means everybody loses. Me, you, your cat, your dog, your mom, everybody's sad. So these guys right here, they're what's holding everything together. So if you'd like to join them, support the channel, and get some awesome benefits yourself, check out patreon.com/SewMicah. I'll have the link in the description, and make sure you stick around till after those glamour shots to see the old versus new Roxy side by side. But with that out of the way, let's head on over to the stage for those glamour shots. Hello and welcome to the debrief section of the video, where I take a minute to fill you in on the stats and numbers of this project. This is going to sound absolutely wild, but the project you just saw took 33 hours, 14 minutes, and 40 seconds. This is now my longest project ever recorded, just barely taking the crown from my Fiona and Cake project by about 2 hours or so, which is extra wild because that project had 2 outfits and 2 plushies. Now, real quick, let's take a look at the side-by-side of my old Roxy plush versus my new one. Honestly, the part of me that sees the similarities feels like there is no improvement here whatsoever, but the part of me that can see all the differences that you really only can see in person knows this is a major improvement. The brows and eyeshadow, the removable clothing, the claws and fingers, that all adds up to making a much more detailed and polished plush. And I am really proud of those improvements, big or small. Now, if you enjoyed this behemoth of a project, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to let the YouTube algorithm know that you want to see more. And if you really liked this video, check out the ones on the right. Honestly, you're not gonna want to miss them.